Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Well, not so much anymore. Apparently, YouTube's under some changing. So, those of you in the chat, welcome for another CGC submission show. As always, we got my man Rod down in the basement. How you doing, Rod?
I'm doing good, hanging out here.
It's late night for you.
It's all good, man. It's all good. I'm excited to be on here for the second time, doing this whole stuff what you got going on, and hanging out with this guy right here, man.
We have the CGC expert, the SlabDragon himself. TJ, how was your day? Long day today?
It's always a long day. Yes.
Yeah, these late night streams, I know they're hard on those East Coast and those Midwest folks, and I know Detroit and Florida representing, so I appreciate you guys staying up a little late for me.
Yes. And it's cold here.
Yes. It sounds like that whole Midwest is being hit hard right now.
Yes.
So what's the temperature
here a little bit?
It's in the 20s.
Yikes. I appreciate you guys making the time. For those that are new to this series, this is the third episode in my first ever CGC or even slabbing submission ever. And I have been wanting to kind of document my questions and my screw ups and what I'm learning and what's going on. And hopefully some people in the chat might learn some cool things. And I appreciate all of you in the chat for coming by. So I'll give you some shout outs here in just a moment. The first episode was really just about which books I was picking and how I went through it. And Rod was kind of walking me through some books he wanted to pick. Second one was joined by TJ because he wanted to correct some of my rookie mistakes and give me some great wisdom. Those books went off right before I went to Baltimore. And I will tell you, the box with almost all of them is on its way back to me and should arrive by the end of the week. I have not looked at the grades. I will not look at the grades. We will do a reveal for the final installment in this first CGC submission series. So be ready for that at some point. I do think one of the books was delayed, and I'll go and show you on my order here in a little bit why that happened. So those in the chat, some awesome folks. I even saw DS, and I know he's on the Golden Guys right now. So at some point, if you want, when we're all done, if you want to check out the Golden Guys over on Comic Core channel, it's a great show, and they're really, really, really genuine folks. And I know that they are selling the last of the TJ SlabDragon Dragonheart boxes to help Moira. I think they were down to the last 8 or 10. So it's those last few. If you want to get a chance to get at those, check out the last few Comic Core shows, and they'll give you the information on how to order. We've got Luis Ramirez first in the chat. Good to see you, brother. We got Rod in there, of course. White Whale Comics is recognizing the fact that I'm apparently the Brubaker expert now. Represent. Gray Matter Hulk. I was just barely late. But I was doing all right. Wednesday Pull List. Thank you for coming by. Randy Resnake. Thank you for coming by. My good homie. If you don't know, Mind Shift over on Instagram. I love me some Kirk. He has some great information. I really do appreciate that he comes by, and we are going to get him on some programs here soon. Gray Matter Hulk, Little Bird is the book for book club tomorrow night. So if you haven't read it, I think you are a big fan. Make sure you come by Alex's channel tomorrow night, and we are going to talk some Little Bird. We got Perry Comics. Good to see you. The Jabroni, which means we have the Four Horsemen. If you missed the Buyer Pass show earlier today on Rod's channel, all four of us were rocking the new books to pick up. So definitely worth checking that out. And I am. Hey, anytime you can get compared to the Selleck for Stash, you're doing something right. HAQ79, thank you for coming by. That comic book homie, appreciate it. NC Slapjacks. I mentioned the DS Comics was in the chat. SlabDragon has been breathing that SlabDragon fire on Instagram. He has. There were some sweet books dropped today. Usually, if I'm right, TJ, you post whenever you get something new. Am I right?
Usually, lately it's been something new, but I do old ones that I've had for a while also that I haven't taken pictures of yet. But everything in the last month has been new.
It's a fun way to look back at your collection, too. Just kind of scroll through what you've got.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm putting it on my photo album for 2019 comics so I can keep track of how many I bought this year.
Nice.
and do it like a year in review later.
Nice. JB Discovery Bay is in the chat. He's been doing some great auctions on his channel. I know you've almost all heard of Discovery Bay, but if you haven't, it's worth subbing him up and checking his channel out because you never know when he's going to go live with some of his cool original styled auctions. There's JD, my comical brother. He's the host of the Golden Guys, and they're going to be starting up here any second. They're starting at 10:15, so they're going to start in about 8 minutes, so they're coming by to say hello. And Gray Matter Hulk says, TC, get the chopper. I appreciate all the comedy. There's a good mustache comedy going on, and I got to say, if you check it out, there are some stashes on this show tonight. I'm just going to say, rocking some serious mustache.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So Stashes United.
I'm not shaving it.
You should.
No, I'm not. Unless the wife comes and she just shaves it while I'm sleeping. She said she was going to do that.
Oh, I'm saying I'm a little weaker. If my wife said she didn't like it, it would be gone in a heartbeat. So this is only lasting because my wife thinks it's funny for a little while. We'll see when her sense of humor fades. So the main focus for tonight is to look at CGC, look at pricing. If you have pricing questions or if you have information that I'm missing, please feel free to drop us some comments in the chat. This is a learning experience for me, and I'll take you through what I went through. We'll look at all the options on the website, and then I'll bring up my receipt for what I paid so you can get a sense of what it cost me. And then we can go through and kind of discuss options, what people could do for their submissions. I'm going to start by jumping over to TJ. Do you have a preference for when you submit books? Do you have a system that you think works for you?
For me, because I'm not a patient man, I always do the standard tier. It's more expensive, but it's the fastest. Unless you want to do, a walkthrough with $100 a book for same day. But 4 to 5 weeks on the standard is what I usually do. I haven't done anything else. I might use the value tier or modern for missing pieces when I submit them. But magazine is the other one I use the most too. But I use standard on that also.
Okay.
But it's not expensive as a regular comic book standard. And the books I submit, most of them qualify for standard only anyhow because of the price point they are.
Gotcha. So for those of you that don't understand the different tiers and the different options, I want to mention first, most people when they submit have an account with CGC. They open an account and they set it up by choosing which sort of account they want to have. And there are options for that, and I'll go through that in a little bit. But there are options if you don't want to pay the membership fee. There are ways that you can still submit books. And of course, doing that at a show where they allow drop-off submissions is one way to do that. So there are ways for those people that are like, I don't want to pay and have an account. I would rather just do a drop-off. There are ways. It's just going to be more expensive to do that. If you have just one or two that you want to do, maybe that's the better way to go for you. But I just wanted to let people know that that was a possibility.
Right. Now, if you have a book that's $3,000 book, you have to use Express.
Okay.
I mean, you can take a chance and not use Express, but sometimes they will send you another bill saying, hey, you're in the wrong tier. It does happen. The standard tier is $1,000 or below, and that's 15 days, which in CGC time is about
so let's share this. This is the
that's it.
This is straight off of the CGC website. If you go over there, cgccomics.com, you can get this information. And they are obviously not the only company, and we'll talk a little bit about that at the end here, but this is the company I chose. They are the benchmark in a lot of ways. So I wanted to start off, I guess you could say, properly. I wanted to have this done the right way the first time, I suppose you could say. So here we've got the different options as far as a walkthrough, like TJ is saying, the Express, the Standard, the Economy, the Value, the Modern, and then some other options down below. What they tell you is the price of the book, which is this first column here, how expensive the book can be, the maximum value of the book, the price per book, and then the turnaround, meaning right now about how long is it taking to get the books back to you.
Yes, which are never realistic, to be honest.
So let's take a look at the one I did. I did value tier, which is this one here at the bottom, and it says 105 days. I would say I was under that mark.
Wow.
Because I sent my books in right before Baltimore. Baltimore was in October, and they have shipped them back to me. Here I am in the middle of November. I should get them back.
Did you fast track it?
I did not.
Wow.
So I will say that I got either I was really lucky or I timed it well or what have you, but my books were definitely under the 105 days.
Yeah. That is a CGC miracle.
Maybe
Well, if you guys allow me to say something, I just, I'm here in the process trying to learn something because I got a few books I want to do stuff like this. So I'm just learning this process through John and hanging out with TJ. So that's why I'm here, guys. If you're wondering what the heck Rod is not saying nothing, I'm trying to figure out how to do everything too. I'm making notes at the same time. So keep it going, John.
Honestly, Rod, I'm in the same boat, and that's kind of why I wanted to do that. And I wanted you to come along because I think you always have great questions. You always see things in a different way, and I really appreciate what you're trying to say. It's easy to grade a 1.8, says Alec. He's making fun of the quality of my books. Very funny. So if we go back to that, let's see here, the CGC page here, it lists the prices. So an express would be $100 right here. A standard submission would be $65. Economy would be $38, and then value is $27. And those would be the basic price of what the book would be. Now, if you fast track it or you have a signature series that you're doing, those would add costs and time.
Yep.
Now, here's the thing. They also have, accounts, right? Various accounts that you can set up. And let me see if I can find some of those options. Services and fees. Let me see where have I got here. Ooh. I'm down here. Oh, goodness. I'm trying to remember the different options here. I'm messing it up. Sorry.
No, you get the whole new laptop computer thing. That thing is flying. That thing is flying. That's amazing, dude. Mine is lacking, but yours is flying.
I'm going to have to remember this off the top of my head, I think. So the way CGC works is you can set up an account and then decide which style you want. I went with what is the $149 package. And what that means is I get a discount price for every book that I submit. I don't pay the $27 here for the value tier. I paid closer to, I think it is just under 20. Am I right, TJ?
It's 10% off.
10% off.
Yeah.
So because I paid $150 to set up an account, I get a 10% off of all the books that I submit.
Yeah.
And they also then give me a coupon for almost the exact same amount, about $150.
Yep.
And that money,
yep.
Sorry, say it again.
You actually gain $1 because you paid $149, you get $150. So
yeah,
it does pay for itself.
So I set up an account. I get then 10% off of all of my submissions, and I get a coupon that covers the cost of my account. So it kind of balances out. And anyone who's submitted will tell you you go through that $150 quickly.
Yes.
Now,
usually the first time.
Well, then every year when you renew, you get that coupon again. Am I right, TJ?
Yeah, that is correct. And if you don't use that coupon in that year, you lose it.
Hit the join button, John.
Let's say you sign up and pay the $150, but you don't submit anything for that year, you lose the coupon. It doesn't carry over.
And there's some great comments in the chat. People talking about how when you choose pressing or when you choose a different tier, then the time frame changes. And let's go to that one book. I mentioned that one of my books, I sent in 12. One of my books is not coming back right away. It's still in the grading process because I asked it to have a special holder, a signature, not a signature holder, but a character holder. And because of that, it's now at least a full week behind the other books, and then therefore needs a whole separate shipping on top of that. So when you send in books, you got to make those decisions. I decided to eat that cost of an additional, I think it ended up being with shipping and I think it's $5 for the label.
Yes.
I ate that extra $15 because I felt like it was worth it for that book. And that book was Avenging Spider-Man 9, the first appearance of Carol Danvers as Captain Marvel. And I felt like I wanted a Captain Marvel logo on that slab. I thought it would look amazing. And I thought it would look like something that somebody that would really want a high quality copy of that book would be very pleased to have.
Another thing about shipping, don't overinflate your estimated value of your book, because the more you say that book is worth, the more the shipping is going to be for the insurance.
So then do you have a number that you use as your high?
Let's say I have a book that's I'm submitting my Supergirl 23 one of these days. The value is probably about $1,000, but I'll probably list it as 6 or 8, saying I don't know it's going to be a 9.8, and this to cut down a little bit on the insurance.
That's
I'm not going to go too low where it's this ridiculous and I say, oh, you're full of it. Yeah.
My boy Los is in the chat. He's got an awesome channel and he's super great on Instagram as well. Great stuff. And I totally agree. Yeah, that's a great point. And I think and we'll look at my receipt. I don't think I priced anything as really over $100. I think $100 was the number I used for the most part all the way along. At the top, CGC says, join. She does different subscriber tiers. Okay, that's what it is. Thank you, brother. That's what I was looking for. So if I scroll to the top and I go to the join section, it's because I logged out. That's what it was. And there it is. Thank you, Edwin, the comic jabroni.
Now, also when you renew, they give you discounts on the renewals too.
Oh, really? So each
when you're about to expire, they're going to send you a little message saying, hey, do you want to renew? You can save like $20. Yeah.
That's cool. That is cool. So these are your choices here. They have the free, which I said you can skip having to create an account where you do it for free, and you are still allowed certain things, and you can still drop off books at a show and things like that, but you don't have all the other access that you would normally get. And then most people, I think, do what's the premium category, which is this one right here, $149. That's the one that I did. And so I paid the $149 up front. I had kind of saved up that money, thanks to my boy Rod for buying some books for me, but a whole bunch of you in the community bought some books for me to get me there. And that allowed me to then get that coupon for $150. And then like it says down here, you get 10% off of all the grading tiers.
Right. On the free one, though, you cannot mail them in directly. You can go to a show and drop them off, but you cannot mail them in yourself.
So if you did the free account, yeah, there are restrictions to what you're allowed to do. You can walk them in though, right?
Yeah, you can go to a convention and drop them off.
Or if you live
to a dealer.
Or if you live in Florida, you could walk them in.
No.
No, you couldn't.
No, they don't let you do that anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The walking in and picking up there is pretty much done.
That is news to me, big time. That's amazing.
There you go, Floridians. Walk into CGC.
If anyone's opinions on SlabDragons, I agree. Chaos in comics.
Yeah. Now, also on the one, you don't get a discount. There's no 10% off but you do get 5% off if you do the $25 one. But
so that's the associate account.
But considering you're going to get the $150 back, why not go for that and use the 10% instead of 5%?
I will say, and Reggie Collects has a bunch of videos on slabbing. And Rod, have you seen any of Reggie's Collects videos on slabbing and why he uses CGC?
I've seen a few of them, and he brings people on there and talk about the whole process and stuff like that. I think it's pretty neat, but I like to hear everything through your channel because I like to break everything now. I'm just being real, guys. I'm just being real, man.
Well, he does the $149 one, the premium account. And I know that he had a deal where you could click on a link in his videos and go straight over and sign up for that premium account. I I agree with TJ that I liked getting the $150 coupon back. It covered that cost. It basically negated the whole process. And I knew that I would be going way over that anyways.
Yeah. Now, if you're going to submit a lot of book in a year, I mean, lots of books, go for the $2.99 because that extra 5% will cover that and save you more money.
So let's talk about that. Then the elite, the $2.99 category here, you still get a $150 coupon back. So you're covered for half of that price.
Yes.
But TJ is saying this is where you make your money.
If you're submitting a lot of books.
So you get 15% off on your grading tier, all grading processes. And that extra 5% obviously would add up if you're sending in a ton of books.
You got to do the math and how many books you're going to submit that year and see if it's going to be worth that tier. The $149 is going to be probably most anyone is ever going to need in a year. But for the people that are really flipping and grading stuff and sending a lot of books in, that's the $2.99 tier is the one you want.
And that's what Los is saying, that a lot of dealers, and I think my LCS even has an elite account, and they offer that to their, a lot of LCSs have this. They offer that to their customers and they say, hey, you pay $30, we'll cover all the rest of it and we'll send your book in.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, so TJ, I'm sorry, John.
No, go ahead.
So, but damn, man, you got so many stuff, man. So I guess these categories does not apply to you, right? So you're like the master, man. So when they see your name, it's like, it's him.
They never know. No, they never see a name. When the graders get the books, they have no idea whose books they are. There's put down out of the bag and out of the board right in front of the grader. No one knows who submitted them.
And there's 3 graders per book, right?
Yes, and a supervisor. Yep.
Okay.
This is totally unbiased. They have no idea they're my books.
Okay, so it's like they don't see the address, like blah blah blah.
No, the graders, that stuff never gets to the graders. That's done at reception, where they take them out of the box.
Okay.
Put the form on them, and that's it. You got a membership number. That's all there is. They don't know what books belongs to who.
Right.
Interesting. All right. Cool.
So the basic idea is you pick your type of account, free all the way through elite. I went with premium. And then you go through that process of submitting your books. I'll take us back to the page before this, where we were looking at what books and how. Obviously, like TJ is saying, you do the express tier, TJ?
I use standard.
Standard, sorry. So this is going to be for books up to $1,000 in value, and it'll cost about $65 minus the 10 or 15%, depending on your account level. That's about what it will cost. They say right now the turnaround is 15 days. What do you say on that, TJ?
I've never had to wait more than 5 weeks, and the fastest I ever got back was 4.
So 4 weeks is your fastest? Okay. Yeah, and obviously you pay to ship them to the CGC facility, and then they will charge you for the shipping back.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't recommend this to anyone else. This is me. I do not insure the books when I ship them to them.
And
I just do priority mail, whatever insurance that comes with. I'm not paying extra for insurance. Never had a problem.
Oh, okay.
Never had a problem since 2005.
I would say if you pack well enough, I wouldn't imagine you'd have it.
No, you do have to pack very well.
I've seen videos online how to pack the CGC slabs, and there's actually videos out there from CGC how to pack your stuff, and you go out there and see how the community pack their slabs and stuff like that. So this
right.
So there's other sources out there. You want to learn how to pack, but damn, you've been doing it for a long time, so you're the master.
Well, I actually pack my boxes of the CGC better than I pack the boxes of the comic books I sent to John.
That's great. Gray Matter Hulk. It is, it's based on how much you value the book. It's for insurance reasons. They cover up to $1,000 if it's lost or damaged. And I know that TJ was mentioning earlier that he doesn't value them too high because that raises the amount you pay for insurance when they ship it back to you. Is that what you were saying, TJ?
Yeah, because if you're going to overflate them in case anything happens that you wanted more insurance money, you're going to be paying for it. It's a waste of money.
That's what Los is saying. Yes, I do have a sheriff's mustache. There's lots of great. I was saying before we went live, I think it feels to me if I had the right teeth, I think I could really pull a Freddie Mercury off.
Yeah. Did anyone even notice I shaved my beard off to support John?
I'm saying I was highlighting it. I was highlighting the mustache is real tonight.
SlabDragon looking like Bill Goldberg. Don't put no spears on me if you're a wrestling fan. I'm just saying.
Oh, it's a wrestling reference.
Yeah, it looks like Bill Goldberg. But you know, I'm working on my mustache right now too, so I'm gonna grow it out.
So I went value tier for my books because mainly my books weren't supremely expensive. They were in the $200 range or less. And so I was paying this $27 for books minus the 10% cost. So it was in that $20 range. I felt like my days were way less than 105. I was really impressed. I did not just. What's that?
That's very impressive. That's very impressive.
I did not press my books by CGC, and I did not fast track my books through CGC. So that might have cut down on my speed and cost a little bit. I had them pressed beforehand, and if you want to hear more about that, you can check the other videos in this series. Did you want to say something else, TJ, or do you want me to jump over to my receipt?
I just want to say about pressing with CCS. They're a great pressing company and everything, and I have used them. But if I was going to use them, what I do, and this is just me again, because I'm an impatient guy, I will send books to CCS, have them pressed, have them sent back to me, and then when I have the money, send them back to CGC to have them graded, and while they're being graded, send more books out to get pressed.
You have this like triangle of travel going on.
Yeah, it doesn't seem as long as it would otherwise because that does add a lot of time on the pressing.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Jacques has a question about cracking a 9.8 and getting it signed and submitted as a signature series. I will say I've never submitted before, so I haven't had that problem. Have you ever done signature series, Rod? TJ?
I would never, ever crack a 9.8 to get a signature because that's just playing with fire.
What about you, Rod? Would you be brave enough to take a 9.8 that you loved and let somebody open it so that you could get a signature?
No, I don't even care if it's slabbed already, and that's it.
Yeah,
and you know that's the bottom line. I go online if I want to read it or whatever. You want to write on the top of the slab, right on top of the slab. That's it. But you know what? I'm not cracking anything open. I've seen videos online, people cracking slabs and stuff like that, and regrade.
You can get lucky. Yeah,
I think what I've noticed is obviously there's a lot of people handling that book, right? The artist, you, CGC, the chances for just a subtle injury that affects the 9.8 to a 9.4 or whatever is high.
Yep.
Los says he's cracked 2 9.6s to get signatures by Liefeld. But don't the signatures by Liefeld drop the value of that book? Just kidding. Hey, and they both came back 9.6s. Good for you, Los.
Yeah. Sometimes, like I said, it can happen. But if you're going to do that, I would recommend getting it pressed because some of the artists just handle it so badly. Stan Lee was well known for really handling books badly, or his bodyguards.
I was going to say, I heard stories about people ripping the bags and doing stuff, messing with it.
And I just got a question for TJ. So I know, well, man, you've been doing this stuff for like amount of years. So your first book from Stan Lee that you got slabbed, do you remember it? Because I'm back to comics for the last 4 years, so I'm just trying to,
I I met him in person, had it signed. I sent away for a Foom 17 raw. It was advertised as near mint. I paid $40 for it. That's the one with Stanley's face, with all the superhero things. Yeah.
Okay.
With all the different superhero parts around his face. The hat is Howard the Duck, if anyone didn't know. I spent 2 hours in line with my friend Justin, and got up to him, and his bodyguards were special. They asked Justin, where's your ticket? And he says, I don't have one. And they told him not to even look at him. So I had him sign, sent it out to get graded. I didn't have it pressed, but I have a feeling someone at CGC remembered me and had it pressed first. I really feel that happened because that came back at 9.6.
Wow.
And it wasn't a 9.6 when it left here. It didn't look like that when it left. It was very much improved like it got pressed. And I think I showed someone my license plate, which said CGC it. And I think someone had it pressed for me.
Wow.
Go find it and show it. No, just kidding.
It could be anywhere.
I know. I just messing around, man.
So Dave Enrique says, doesn't CGC suggest re-slabbing after a certain number of years? Have you heard that, TJ?
That is a myth.
Okay.
The only reason you would re-slab a book is to replace the paper inside on the older books, microchamber paper on the inside of the book. This is under the cover, and you would after 7 years, what it does is it absorbs the off-gassing from the comic books to help it slow down the aging process. But if you don't resubmit it, the paper becomes inert. It does no harm. It's just a piece of paper under the cover. You do not have to have these graded every 7 to 10 years. I mean, resubmitted every 7 or 10 years, just unless you want that paper replaced.
Gotcha. And Whitewell Comics is saying that they don't regrade the book when you do that. They simply just re-slab it. I would assume it's the same if you have a cracked slab. You just pay I think it's $15.
Don't regrade it. It's just re-slabbed.
They're just going to fix the slab. Or if you're somebody that's a completist and likes like I know, TJ, you're a fan of the newer slabs that are much thicker.
Oh, I'm a huge fan, yeah. And
I just recently got a slightly cracked Daredevil slab I might send in my next order because it's, for $15, I'll get a sturdier, solid, completed slab. So for $15, you can re-slab a book that's already slabbed. Yeah. All right. So let me share. I'm sorry. Go ahead, TJ.
I was going to say that you don't have to. It's always been a myth. All the people that against grading says we got to replace them all every 7 years. No, you don't. That's always been a myth.
I'm going to
watch Reggie's video. They even say that.
Yeah, and I think Reggie does. I'm going to shout him out again. He's got some great videos on picking books to slab, why certain books in certain ways, depending on whether it's for sale or whether it's for saving, and of course the whole process as well, which kind of has spurred me on a little bit. Sorry, Rod, you wanted to say something?
There's a question about the white erasers.
Where's that?
On his videos on Reggie's channel.
Oh. Yeah, so, there was some
people were talking about that. Is that a right thing to do? Or, we don't have to talk about it. We just go on to a next subject, whatever.
What kind of eraser?
It's the magic eraser. The was it Mr. Clean magic eraser?
Well, that's what most pressers and cleaners do, is use that.
Okay.
The dispute was which kind of eraser and when and how much of it. And Reggie was mentioning the Mr. Clean eraser. My buddy, who's a cleaner and presser, says he bought one of those and it lasts him several years because he cuts the tiniest pieces off of it.
Yeah.
And he uses it only in the right circumstances because it's the kind of eraser that it is. It can, when used after a few times, it starts creating barbs. It doesn't shred, it barbs. And then the barbs take off layers.
Yeah.
And so he did a really cool thing where he took a backing board, the glossy side, and he took a magic eraser and he just swiped it 3 times, and then he tilted it in the light, and you could see exactly where he had swiped it.
Yeah.
And his point was, with those kind of erasers, just be careful, because what you can do is actually remove layers of color.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Yeah,
you don't.
A lot of pressers will actually just replace the eraser every book.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know he does that. My friend and he's the one that cleaned and pressed my books, and he was the one joking with Reggie a little bit about it and making some fun between the two of them. But really, it was just to look at how you do those things. And I am not a professional. I trust people that I know and respect in this community, like TJ or JD, to guide me on letting me know this is a person to trust, like Paul, the Midwest Comic Man, who have been doing it a long while and know what they're doing. So if you want info on cleaning, pressing, I would say talk to people like TJ, JD, Reggie, and they'll give you people that can do good work.
Yeah, I studied pressing for years, and I pretty know I could probably do it if I really wanted to start practicing and getting the equipment. But I'm looking at pressing like mowing my grass. I'd rather pay someone else to do it for me.
That's a great way to describe it.
Yeah. My grass sucks outside, and that's why, you know what, I'm learning a thing or two through you guys, and I'm just happy to hang out with you guys, man. For real, man.
All right, well, let me do another screen share here, because I'm going to share with you now what it cost me to send in my books, just so that everybody's got kind of their the 411 on what I ended up doing. So let me open this guy here and open him wide up here. So this is my submission. I kind of blocked out my address and information there so that you can kind of see what it cost me to submit my books. On the left side here, you can see the names of my books. And in the center, the issue numbers and any important information. I had only one variant I submitted, and it was the Silver Surfer Black Marcos Martin variant. So it's the only one that has that information here on the side. As you can see, I kind of priced it. Nothing went above 200. I think the Edge of the Spider-Verse was the one I gave the highest price to. These are my estimates for what they cost, just for insurance reasons. I tried to keep it low. I was following my TJ advice on not overestimating those things. The numbers in the middle are obviously the date that the book was released, to the best of what I could figure out. And then, the issue numbers and such. Down here, you can see it was modern grading for 11 of them. And the total was $198 for 11 of them to be modern graded. Then there was handling fee for $5 and shipping for $34. That's on the 11 books that are coming back to me this weekend. There was the one book, the Spider-Man, Avenging Spider-Man #9, which is getting the special label. And as you can see, that bit me in the rear end a little bit on the pricing for shipping. So these 11 books cost $34 to ship back to me. This one book cost $14.
Yep.
So they get you in a bite there. It went from about $3 a book to ship to about $4 a book for my submission.
Yep. On the first one, I would recommend lowering those values next time.
Okay.
Yep, that'll save you a lot more money.
Oh yeah, for the on the shipping side.
Yep.
There you go. Some advice from the SlabDragon. I will say, more than likely, I'm going to think over my second submission, but I was strongly considering my second submission to be more of the Silver and Bronze Age books.
Yes, like on the new ones, like the Silver Surfer Black and stuff, or the dye, I would have put down $25 for those, because that's really, you don't know what they're going to grade. That's the going raw price. I would go by raw price, not what you expect to get back.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay, interesting.
So then I'm learning another layer deeper here.
Wow, that is like, all right. Wow. So if I had let's just say New Mutants 98, so I cannot expect $8,000 for it. So
no,
that's
the new 98. let's say a 9.8 would be $700. I'm not going to say it's worth $700, even though it might be a 9.8 coming back. I would actually go for a 9.4 price that's going for, because a raw 9.4, because you don't know. It's all guesswork. So that's an estimated value. Don't put down $700 for the top tier.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
And this is what I was getting from TJ from last time, was the idea that you're not putting down the number you would love to get if you sold it. Right? You're putting down the price that you would be willing to consider the value of the book as low as possible, so that the shipping isn't exorbitant to cover insurance.
Exactly.
Man, this is cool.
It's cool, right? It's nice to kind of know these little ins and outs, just because I've got some rookie mistakes that I've been doing, and I want to make sure that that I'm passing on some of that info. So here's my final payment. My submission for these 12 books cost me $279. They took out the $150 coupon in the end, so that would make it what, $229. $129 was my additional cost after the coupon was used,
which is not bad at all.
No, I was very pleased overall by that, and again, I had kind of decided in advance that none of these books were going to be less than a 9.0, and even at a 9.0 or a 9.2, I would definitely have made money on selling them slabbed if I ever decided to sell them all. And I'm not, because I said to myself, at least 5 or 6 of these are books that I want to keep. That What If 105 was a gift from TJ that I'm super glad to be able to have. Then my girls are going to love. It's part of their Great Women in Comic Books run. So that's going to be a book that I'm going to hold on to for a really long time, much like the Spider-Gwen right under it, these 2 books right here. And I love the Silver Surfer Black variant. I was super pumped to get one of those. So those 3 books are probably going to be in my collection for life. But if you're looking for a good Immortal Hulk, stay tuned to the unboxing, and maybe I'll have some sweet books for you.
Well, if they come back 9.8, I'll hit you up.
Right? So that was my receipt. I wanted to let you kind of all see what it cost me and kind of where it was. Gray Matter Hulk says, ouch. I'm hoping that's probably to the price of the cost of the books. It's not cheap to slab your books. I mean, that's the reality. And I talked to TJ many times about the idea that I would always rather take that $279 and buy more comic books. And his joke was always like, well, what I would rather buy more slabs and not worry about this epic pressing and cleaning bill.
Yeah. That's why I don't submit a lot in the last few years, because a lot of them I'd rather just buy it already slabbed once and done. I don't have to worry about it coming back something that I don't want. But I have a lot of books I have pulled that John and I hopefully will do a show on. And I mean, this is a small number of some of the ones I need to submit.
Oh, wow.
And so we can do a show on those one of these days.
I would happily do that. Ooh, look at that. I love that cover. Let me blow that up there. So that, for those that don't know, is the great Magneto Thor battle, with Magneto being able to pull at Mjolnir with his powers.
And all of these have potential to be 8.0 or up.
Wow.
There's a question coming from Hack79, TJ. Do you sell any of your slab? This is questions from the. I asked the chat. Do you have any questions?
I don't sell or trade.
There it is. So
nope. He gives away or he purchases. That's the world of TJ.
Yeah, I mean, if let's say that this book came, I thought it was not going to be an 8.0. JD would have been in his house already.
So Gray Matter Hulk, the big unboxing is yet to be determined. I'm getting 11 of the books back hopefully this weekend, and I will be having my wife go through and cover all the labels for me for the big unboxing. So I won't know any of the grades. I've been a very good boy, and I don't unwrap my presents before Christmas. And Christmas will be announced hopefully soon, and I'm going to get these guys' schedules after the show to kind of make sure we're all aligned and ready to roll on that.
There's another question. TJ, what's your favorite slab in your collection?
I don't have a favorite.
How do you pick one baby out of all your children, right? What was that? I thought Los had a question. He says, if you put a higher value on a book, won't CGC move you to a higher tier?
It depends on the price you put on that book. Or if you put something too low, let's say you had this, and this is, if it comes back in 8.0, this is going to be a $400 book plus. And if you put this in the economy for a $200 top thing, they're going to bill you for the next tier up. That belongs in. Yeah. Sometimes you can get lucky and they
let bygones be bygones.
Yeah. But if you consistently undervalue the books, they will send you a bill.
Los, good night. Thank you for joining me, brother. Yeah, take care of that baby.
Congratulations on the baby.
Be a rad already. Yeah, exactly. Much love to brother Los. If you haven't seen him before, he was on book club a couple weeks back on Alex's channel. He is just an awesome, awesome guy. You should really check in on him. What is the most valuable slab you own, TJ? If that is, if you collect Batman, or the most valuable Batman slab.
Probably right now, Detective Comics 400 9.4.
Ooh,
it's about a $2,000 book.
Wow. Yeah, 400. What year was issue 400?
70s.
Man,
I don't have it. I don't have
the first appearance of Man Bat
over here.
Oh, is that the first Man Bat? Oh, that's classic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Neil Adams cover art.
Yeah. I always thought it was great that the animated series started with that villain and not the Joker. That they went Man Bat for that first issue. I thought that was cool. Or episode. Yeah. So that's us. We're wrapping up for tonight. I really appreciate everybody coming by. Thank you for hanging out with us. I will get the books this weekend and I will prep all of that. And then we will talk schedules with these gentlemen and hopefully find a night when we can do the big reveal, 11 books, pulling off Post-its and guessing what we think the books are going to get. It should be a whole lot of fun and a whole lot of laughs. Rod, I appreciate you shouting out the chat, bringing in hot questions, just hanging out with me through all this, man. Do you have, besides the buyer pass, people can watch that show from earlier tonight. Was there anything else you wanted to shout out?
No, that's pretty much it, man. You know, I'm happy to hang out on people's chats and live shows. Not often that I do it, but man, whenever you say, yo, Rod, you down to do this? Yo, man, especially TJ is in the house. I'm rocking out with you guys, man.
We need to do another of the Rican scales together. Get together for some Rican scale.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, and I was just like, oh man, I got to find a time for it, man. I want to do it on a Thursday, but it's crazy, man.
Yeah. Well, you can definitely check out Rod and his channel. It's in the description of this video, but of course, he's been in this chat like fire, so you can click on his name and go to his channel. He is over 1,000 and crushing it. TJ, you got those Dragonheart boxes rolling out, the unofficial pedigree of TJ SlabDragon. Those books are rolling out of the Comic Core. Is there anything else coming up? Any Stranger Things coming up soon over on Comic Core?
I think we're working on a Rican one with me and JD and Alec.
Oh,
that's going to be about a month away.
That sounds great. So if you don't know TJ, I have his channel linked down below. He is so close to, what is it, 400 right now? 397?
Yeah, 397.
Oh, just
right.
3 people.
Maybe TJ want to come on the show.
But some people disappeared.
Oh, no.
Some people got dusted.
So if you haven't followed TJ, his description or the link for his video is in the description below too. We definitely need to get him over that 400 and get him on the other side of that number. But you can see him on his channel. You can see him on the Comic Core for those Stranger Things shows. Thank you, brother. I hugely appreciate this.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
TJ, come on my Sunday show for an interview, man. Are you down?
I'm working.
Yeah, his weekends are brutal.
All right.
I'm retail. It's Christmas.
Oh.
It's the most wonderful time. Thank you, Jacques, for coming by, brother. You had some great questions as well. I appreciate everybody hanging with us. And I will let you know on Instagram and on my channel when I get chances when that big unboxing will happen. Trust me, it will be very exciting news. So I will be livid and ready and focused and excited and hopefully happy. We'll see.
I want you to be happy.
I think I'll be happy. I think I'm going to be pleased. On Wednesday, tomorrow, I got 2 shows. I'm on Alex's channel to do book club. We are talking about Little Bird, the saga. It'll be a whole lot of fun. We have no guest. It's just the 2 of us being knuckleheads as usual. But you never know. Someone might be thrown into the loop there at the last second. And then, of course, the new Wednesday show, the greatest comic book show ever, is back for round 2. It's going to slay again. It'll be the greatest show ever. And we're going to have Jason from Comics Misexplained. And we're going to have Adam from Bear Island Comics. And we're going to tear it up. So I hope to see you all over there on the Comic Core tomorrow night as well.
Yeah. I'm glad to see Adam on there. He's funny as hell.
Oh, man. He is the perfect partnership with the 3 of us. I think the 4 together, it's amazing. Great comedy.
And the only way you're going to know that guy is if you hit the notification bell, hit the like, and all that stuff, man. Notification bell goes a long way.
Absolutely. Definitely. All right, guys. Have a good night, and I hope to catch you tomorrow a couple times.
You got it.